You may have heard about Twitter and been wondering, what is it? What is all the buzz about? This presentation will provide a brief introduction to Twitter and how it can be used by educators. This presentation will look at what is Twitter? Why should I join? How does it work? How do I get started? And where can I learn more? Let's start by looking at what exactly is Twitter. Twitter is a web-based tool that is designed to give people the power to create and share ideas instantaneously. Over 230 million active users are on Twitter, and the majority of these accounts are folks who are outside of the United States. Pretty commonly, when people think of Twitter, they think about following celebrities or gossip and that kind of information. But Twitter is not only a way to follow and keep up with your favorite celebrities. It's also not exactly Facebook. I like to think of it as Facebook are the people that I know in real life, and Twitter are people that I'd like to know. What Twitter is public. Any information that you put on Twitter is public, which is an important feature of Twitter to be aware of. Twitter is also happening in real time. This is makes it a powerful tool for talking with other educators, particularly in Twitter chats, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Twitter is also connected. It's a way of making connections with other educators who are in your field, within your state, or beyond. And Twitter is also global. Twitter has huge potential for educators to connect with other educators and also for students to connect with other students around the world. So now that we've learned a little bit about what Twitter is, you might be thinking, why should I join? What's in it for me? Twitter has tremendous benefits for educators. It allows you to access individualized professional development 24/7. By connecting with other educators around the world and building what we call a PLN, or a personalized learning network, you are creating your own network of people who you can share ideas and information with, which is a powerful tool. To provide you with an example of the power of Twitter, I created a survey and sent it out on Twitter. I asked 3 questions. Where in the world are you tweeting from? Do you have a favorite hashtag or Twitter chat? Which we'll explain in a minute. And I asked for one piece of advice that the educators out on Twitter would give to people like maybe you who are watching this, who are new and considering joining Twitter. So what happened? On October 30th at 7:30, I sent out this tweet that you see on the screen that said that I was looking to demonstrate the power of Twitter for a district tutorial and learn from the best. I included the link to the survey. Within 2 hours, I received 54 responses to the survey from the states that you see highlighted in blue, as well as Canada and the United Kingdom. What is great about Twitter is when you're asking questions like where are you from, you get such a wide variety of responses, which is important for when you're asking different questions, like what should I plan for Monday's lesson, or how are you teaching that math concept with your students, or what ideas do you have for this project. There's a huge amount of educators out on Twitter who are willing and ready to connect with you. So if that has not convinced you of the value of Twitter, there are also benefits for your students. By having a Twitter account yourself, you are creating the opportunities for your students to share their learning with an authentic audience and to make global connections. What exactly does that look like? Well, an example from my students that Twitter has provided us with opportunities to connect with authors and to share their work through Skype. I had sent out a tweet about what we were doing in the library for the week, and the author of the I Spy books tweeted back and asked if we would like to Skype with her about what we're doing. This resulted in the entire 3rd grade being able to share their writing with a writer and get some fabulous advice to improve their craft. We've also connected through Twitter. I have connected with librarians in other states, which has allowed me to connect my students using tools such as Google Hangouts to share their writing with other students, which has been lots of fun and provides students with an authentic audience for their work. So how does it work? Let's take a look at some of the nuts and bolts of Twitter. In looking at the lingo that goes with Twitter, there are some words that we're going to need to know. The first is a tweet, and tweets are the messages that you send out through your Twitter account, and these are 140 characters each, and that is a strict limit. The next word that's going to be important is a handle. This is your username or your identity on Twitter, and these all start with the @ symbol. And another important word that we're going to need to know is a hashtag. This is probably one of the most important parts of Twitter, particularly when using it as an educator. And a hashtag is any word or phrase with the number symbol in front of it. This makes it easy to find and follow a conversation about a certain topic. We also have a hashtag here at Haverford, Have to Learn, where we will be sharing resources that we find that might be helpful to other folks in the district. Other hashtags that are in this example tweet are GAFE, that's Google Apps for Education, is a way of following a conversation all about Google Apps for Ed. And also another hashtag from this particular tweet is EdTechChat, which is educators who are talking about technology and its integration. In addition to composing tweets and sharing out ideas that you're thinking about or samples of student work, you can also favorite a tweet that somebody else has. This sends positive feedback to the author if you like what they're saying. And the symbol for favoriting is the little star that you see in that upper right-hand corner. Another feature is the reply feature. Very similar to email, is used to start a conversation back and forth with somebody on Twitter. And a final piece of the Twitter lingo is the idea of retweeting, often abbreviated as a capital RT. And this is very similar to forwarding an email. It allows you to share someone else's tweet with all of the people in your network. So how do you get started? This question is probably the most daunting of things to think about with Twitter because it is such a global network. But here are a few tips to help you get started. The first thing you'll need to do is create an account. These are free. All you need is an email address. To create an account, you can go to twitter.com and set up your account. It will walk you through the process. You are going to want to be sure to add a photo to your account so people know that you are a human and not a Twitter robot. And you're also going to want to add a brief bio about yourself, particularly one that indicates what you're teaching, so that when you're connecting with other educators, they know sort of where you're coming from. So up on the screen, you will see my Twitter account. My handle is @ChristyBren, so you can start to build your professional learning network with me. This also shows you an example of a Twitter picture and a Twitter bio, both of which are going to be very important to your account. Now to set up your network, I have also started a list. So once you have found me as your first connection on Twitter, if you take a look, I have a list of have to follow people who are 25 folks that I learn a whole lot from on Twitter and who are pretty broad in their educational interests. And these folks will be a great way to start building your network. Once you've set up your account and started to follow some people, the next part of using Twitter that is very helpful is just to lurk on Twitter chats. And this is one of those platforms where it's okay, even encouraged, to sit back and watch what other people are saying. Some suggested Twitter chats by those 54 educators who answered my survey are in that list off to the left of your screen. And they all start with that number sign because they are hashtags. As far as why Twitter chats are such a powerful tool, I will default to 8 educators who are in a video in the middle of your screen that will explain to you why Twitter chats are such a great tool. So once you've set up your account, you've started to build that network, you've lurked on some Twitter chats that are of interest to you, join in the conversation. If you'd like to learn more about Twitter, I've provided some links to additional resources for you. So these are just a few of the many links available that are Twitter guides for beginners. That first link is a huge list of resources that has been curated by Steve Anderson, who is an educator who is working to build a library on the internet. Underneath of it, that second link is going to be very important. That is the list of the dates and times of weekly Twitter chats with all of those hashtags. So if you find a chat that you're interested in, whether it's kindergarten chat, social studies chat, that link will tell you which time the live chat takes place on Twitter. The third link that you see is the Ultimate Twitter Guidebook for Teachers. Again, this provides a great background information about Twitter and how it can be used in the classroom. The fourth link is all about building that personal learning network, and it provides you a list of educators who are on Twitter, broken down by subject area and grade level. As a final note, I'd like to leave you with some advice from those 54 educators who answered our survey. And these are some suggestions that they had for people who are new to Twitter. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation, and I look forward to seeing you on Twitter.